What's good, YouTube fam? Welcome back to another one of my video vlogs. In this one, we are going to cover why exercise is good for you. Exercise is good for all of us. We all intuitively know that moving our body and being physically active is good for our quality of life, our well-being, our longevity, etc. But do we truly understand the science behind what is happening to our body when we are exercising? Do we know what we are suppressing from potentially developing later on in our life? I believe no, majority of us don't really know the benefits behind exercise, and so that is the reason I am making this vlog. And yeah, I wrote about 2 pages on this subject. I researched a couple of articles, peer-reviewed journals on the benefits of exercise, and so I am going to read to us what I wrote down because I really believe that this is knowledge that we should all have, you feel me? So let's dive in on it. I wrote, we all know exercise is good for us, but do we truly understand why? Exercise is a powerful means to maintain health, prevent disease, and even act as a medicine for a wide range of non communicable diseases. Regular exercise improves glycemic control and insulin action among both obese and type 2 diabetic patients. A peer reviewed article titled Lack of Exercise is a Major Cause of Chronic Diseases states that physical inactivity is a primary cause of most chronic diseases, followed by detrimental effects on normal organ functional capacities. These peer-reviewed journals that I am stating on these pages that I'm reading to us, I will leave links in the description of this vlog to these research articles for those of us that are interested in doing further research. And yeah, hopping back on track, physical activity slash exercise is examined as primary prevention against 35 chronic conditions, such as accelerated biological aging slash premature death, low cardiorespiratory fitness, sarcopenia, metabolic syndrome, obesity, insulin resistance, prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, coronary heart disease, peripheral artery disease, hypertension, stroke, congestive heart failure, endothelial dysfunction, arterial dyslipidemia, hemostasis, deep vein thrombosis, cognitive dysfunction, depression and anxiety, osteoporosis, osteoarthritis, balance, bone fracture slash falls, rheumatoid arthritis, colon cancer, breast cancer, endometrial cancer, gasto gestational diabetes, excuse me. um what else? Ovary syndrome, erectile dysfunction, pain, diverticulitis, constipation, and gallbladder disease, to name a few. These are all chronic conditions that exercise can prevent, that exercise can, quote, heal and, quote, make better if you're already dealing with these chronic conditions. You feel me? Exercise, like I said, or if I said, I don't recall, acts as a panacea. It is like the pharmaceutical drug that, in my opinion, we all would love to have if we were dealing with an illness, except you can't fucking put exercise into a pill form and pop it daily. You actually have to put the fucking work in, you feel me? And a lot of us don't want to put the fucking work in, don't have the energy to put the work in, don't have the time, blah blah blah, whatever excuse we're making. However, it is very crucial and necessary that we move our body a lot consistently, that we are active in order to sustain a vibrant, good, healthy, strong, positive quality of life, you feel me? um yeah, let's continue on where I left off on these notes. All of these clinical consequences can result in decreasing both total and quality years of one's life. Physical activity primarily prevents or delays chronic diseases. Um, Even low doses of physical activity are protective for health, and even low doses. Oh, sorry, I was starting to reread that fucking sentence. Even low doses of physical activity are protective for health and reduce by about 22% the risk of premature death. Physical activity is also an important therapeutic tool for patients with cardiovascular diseases, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, cancer, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. All these things can be benefited with the tool of exercise. An appropriate dosage of exercise reduces the risk of reoccurrence of any of these diseases from progressing. Also improves and increases the patient's quality of life. Exercise improves a patient that may be dealing with a chronic disease. It improves that patient's quality of life. Exercise, I don't know what it's like in a medical setting, in a medical field, but I would assume that exercise is encouraged by physicians and nurses. And if not, then maybe it is because nurses and physicians lack the knowledge behind what exercise really provides. You feel me? And I wouldn't doubt that, because I wouldn't doubt that nurses and physicians lack this knowledge because they are trained in allopathic medicine. They're trained in medicine. They're not necessarily trained in cure and get to the root cause of things or the prevention of things. You feel me? So yeah, good thing to keep in mind. Exercise is good for your brain. As we age, one of the problems is our cognitive abilities start to decline. Dementia and Alzheimer's are a big issue, and most medical treatments don't really work, sadly. Woo, excuse me. A study out of Sydney, Australia showed that resistance training was the only non medical intervention that's been shown to stop and reverse the progression of the beta amyloid plaques that we know plays a big role in Alzheimer's. Studies show that nothing other than exercise stops the progression of these beta amyloid plaques in the brain, which lead to neurodegeneration. Exercise also increases a protein in the brain called brain derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF for short, which is like Miracle-Gro for your brain. When our brain receives more of this protein, our neurons are healthier and the brain is less inflamed. BDNF and neuroplasticity are induced by exercise. Neuroplasticity is our brain's ability to adapt. This has been known to delay neurodegeneration such as Alzheimer's, Huntington's disease, and improve cognitive functioning overall, especially in older adults. And the last thing I wrote that exercise benefits is it strengthens, if I can even fucking speak English, strengthens our vascular tree just like cold exposure. Now I'm not going to dive into exposure, the benefits of cold exposure, cold showers, cold baths. My next video vlog will more than likely be on cold exposure. However, our vascular tree is strengthened just like cold exposure when we exercise. What does that mean? That means that when we exercise, we get our heart to pump blood efficiently throughout our entire body, through all of our organs, cells, tissues, and glands, right? Thus, we are getting optimal amounts of nutrition all throughout our body when we are active. How are we strengthening our vascular tree? Because when we are exercising, we are causing our blood to pump out into our extremities, right? And then to pump deep back into our organs, our glands. We're essentially dilating and not constricting, but we're giving our blood vessels a massage when we exercise, which in turn strengthens internal physiological processes and organs. The functions of our organs strengthen as we age due to exercise. Not only does our external physical appearance look strong when we exercise, but also our internal world strengthens. All of our physiological um systems strengthen, and that is good. That is something that we want. Cold exposure also does that. How so? Long story short, because when we expose ourselves to a cold environment, be it cold shower for example, blood rushes to our extremities, right? To try to keep our skin warm. After a good minute or two in the cold, the blood rushes back into our organs and glands and tissues because the body starts to become numb from the coldness. And the body's reaction is, hey, I gotta survive. I gotta survive. So let me bring the blood flow back into the important parts of the body, which are the organs. And I don't care if my arms, toes freeze off. I need to keep this organism alive. So essentially, what cold exposure is doing is exercising and massaging your vascular tree. It is pushing blood out to your external body to keep you warm, and then you're exposed to cold for more than 2 minutes, and now the blood's going back in. You're giving your internal organs and vascular tree a massage, and that is just very beneficial all around the spectrum for our overall health, strength, vitality, and quality of life and longevity as we age. You feel me? So that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys found some benefit. Hopefully I encourage some of us to develop and sustain a consistent exercise routine. You feel me? It's only going to be very beneficial. There is no negative downfall to it unless you're exercising like crazy every single day, not taking a day off to recover, and not obviously eating good, adequate, high quality nutrition to recover. Um, Exercise is only gonna benefit you. You feel me? Uh, and yeah, like I said, hopefully you guys gain some value. That is gonna be it for this vlog, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.